U.S. stocks set intraday records. Dow led higher by Microsoft. U.S. stocks moved higher Wednesday as Wall Street celebrated better-than-expected earnings off of a record week of gains for the Dow. The Dow Jones Industrial hit a new intraday high, with Microsoft adding the most to gains. The S&P rose roughly 0.25% as technology and healthcare led 6 sectors higher. Energy was the biggest laggard. The Nasdaq traded roughly 19 points higher, helped by biotech. Investors are celebrating Microsoft and Morgan Stanley, which are part of the enthusiasm, said Jack Ablin, Chief Investment Officer at BMO Private Bank. Bank results continued to surprise Wednesday, with Morgan Stanley reporting earnings of 75 cents per share versus consensus expectations of 59 cents, according to Thomson Reuters. Morgan Stanley joined Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, JPMorgan Chase, and Bank of America on a list of U.S. financial institutions topping second-quarter profit forecasts. This suggests the big banks have been managing global uncertainty pretty well, Ablin said. The Dow was led higher by Microsoft, which beat on earnings and revenue as its cloud product Azure saw revenue growth of 102%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is tracking for a 9-day winning streak after closing at another record high Tuesday. 64% of S&P 500 companies that had reported as of Tuesday morning topped earnings estimates, according to Thomson Reuters, compared to a long-term average of 63% over the past 22 years. Abbott Labs, American Express, eBay, Intel, Qualcomm, Mattel and United Continental also report Wednesday. Investors are playing the no alternative card, which means since earnings are not terribly disappointing, the rally continues, said Peter Cardillo, chief market economist at First Standard Financial. The U.S. dollar is at a 4-month high as federal rate hike talk picks up and the U.S. economic data continues to strengthen. U.S. housing starts rose more than expected in June, and federal funds futures rates showed an uptick in rate hike expectations. According to the CME Group's FedWatch tool, the rates show investors see a roughly 40% chance the Federal will hike rates by its December meeting, compared with less than 20% a few weeks ago. I think it's a combination of data, and it's a safe haven because the geopolitical situation in Turkey certainly is not over, Cardillo said. People are just being cautious. Markets await an announcement in Turkey for emergency measures in the aftermath of a failed military coup. Turkey's Borsa Istanbul fell 1.6%, near the low of session. Political risk is always a factor when investing in emerging markets. The events in Turkey highlight this, said William Scholes, investment manager at Aberdeen Asset Management. Companies in the country are among some of the best in emerging markets, despite the political environment. Roughly 50,000 military officers, police, and other Turkish citizens were suspended from work or detained since the military coup in the country, which borders Syria and is a Western ally against Islamic State, Reuters reported. Sterling moved higher after the Bank of England released its report on economic impact from last month's Brexit vote. it showed no clear evidence of slowing economic activity, with signs that demand for credit was easing and companies did not expect any near-term impact on capital spending, according to Reuters. The pound traded near $1.32 against the dollar. China's yuan rose as the People's Bank of China strengthened its reference rate, which limits moves in the currency. The euro traded at $1.0979, and hit its lowest level against the dollar since June 27. European stocks traded higher Wednesday after the BMO report. Shares of FTSE 250 listed Man Group tumbled on news that the hedge fund's chief executive will become CEO of Pacific Investment Management Company, PIMCO, in November. The German DAX was up more than 1.5%. France's CAC traded nearly 1% higher, while the UK's FTSE 100 was up 0.03%.